Alright, well what is up YouTube? HPJ here. Um Today I'm gonna be giving you guys Mastemon. A more budget friendly option for Mastemon. If you guys are still interested in Mastemon, because I'm gonna be moving on from Mastemon into another deck and another lineup of cards as well for Digimon. So yeah, it is a lot of stuff going on with the Digimon card game, and there's a lot of different things, especially with this deck because this deck is not budget friendly. Um, I have tried to make this deck budget friendly, so there is some options to it. It's just very difficult right now, um, because some of the bigger options that you need for the deck, like the Holy Angelmon and the Lucimon Fall Down mode, or no, it's Lucimon Chaos mode, um, are very very expensive. So yeah, if you're interested in building Mastemon, I'm just gonna say now it's gonna be very very expensive. I'm gonna try to give some budget options and maybe some ideas for those budget options if you're still looking into building it. But for the most part, it's a deck that is yeah, it's very expensive. And it's shocking too because there's so many options of cards for purple and yellow, and you think it'd be a lot easier, but unfortunately it's not. We are also, I think, a week and a half away now from BT10, and that's going to introduce Ordinamon, and basically her being one of the ultimate dark purple yellow megas, and she's a really good mega. It's a lot of security control stuff going on with that, and I have seen a lot of people play it Ordinamon and set up into Ordinamon, but like I said, a lot of these builds you need a lot of stuff for it. So I'm gonna do my best, and with that said, let's go ahead and go into this build. So starting off with the Digitama, I'm running 4 copies of Miramon from the Parallel World um, Tactics deck, and then 1 copy of the Demi Miramon. So that's the let's see data. That is the Digitama. For the main deck itself, 2 copies of what is this? Mastemon, 2 copies of Fanimon Fall Down mode, and then 3 copies of Gatomon. This is the dual color Gatomon. Alright, then we move on from them. Then we have our purples. I'm running 2 copies of Junomon, 4 copies of Lady Devimon, the 4 copies of Witchmon, because I want to make sure you guys can see the lineup here. And sorry about the glare. It's lighting. 1 copy of Eismon, and then 3 copies of Eismon Scatter Mode. Then 4 copies of the Tsukaimon. Alright, that's it for the purple. And then for the yellow, 4 copies of Angelmon, 2 copies of Candlemon, and 2 copies of the Salamon. Sorry, I'm going to move this a little more in the center. Okay. And then for the Tamers, the 2 copies of Younger Kari, the 2 copies of Teenage Kari, and then the 2 copies of TK and Kari to round out your Tamers. For the purple, we have the 4 copies of Purple Memory Boost. We have the 2 copies of Darkness Wave, the 2 copies of Chaos Degrade, and the 2 copies of Hellflame Scythe. So, there you go. That is basically it for the monsters, the Digimon, the Tamers, the Digitama, and the option cards. So, I'm going to go ahead and we go into it. So, for the Digitama, Digitama is very scarce when it comes to purple and yellow because there's not a lot of them that correspond well with purple. But you do get a lot of it out of Niarmon, if that's anything. This is Niarmon from the Parallel World Tactics starter deck. When uses Digivolution material, when attacking, if you control a yellow Digimon, you can draw one and then trash one from your hand. So it's draw power, and it's also setting up for graveyard. Well, for trash, sorry, um, for recovery plays, because you can do that with a lot of the cards in the deck. Then we have the one copy of the Demi Miramon. So if you can't get a hold of this Demi Miramon, because this is the most used Demi Miramon for purple, and the most used Digitama for purple at that. On deletion, draw one card, then trash one card from your hand. There is the other Demi-Miramon that came out in BT8, where this one can be an option if you would like to use it. It says that on your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, you can draw one card. So without the drawing, discarding factors like the original, like this first Demi-Miramon, this Demi-Miramon is just an option if you want to go for a cheaper budget, or you want to go for something a little different than what you can with the Digitama. But the Digitama itself can be any array of the purple and yellow Digitama. You can also swap out this Niarmon, and I think there's going to be Niarmon coming up that works well with purple and yellow as well, and it happens to be yellow. So, alright, that is the Digitama and the options for the Digitama. Moving on, let's go on to our purple and yellow cards. So starting off is the 2 copies of Mastemon. Mastemon is really good, especially for yellow and purple. You take your 2 level 5s, you DNA Digivolve them. On the DNA Digivolution, if one of your material was purple, when you place any purple or yellow Digimon from your trash, put it into your security, then you can take any level 5 or lower Digimon and play it without playing the memory cost. Now, this is supposed to work well with the Lucemon that's out, the purple Lucemon. Unfortunately, because the card's very expensive, there's not too many options of things you can do, but it is a really good, reset for your security, if you want to just, bulk back your security up before you end your turn. The other effect of this Mastemon, of course, is that when during all turns, if another Digimon plays an effect, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a level less than or equal to that Digimon's level. So it's another source of removal that the deck has many options to in terms of Digimon removal. Then we have the Alphanimon Fall Down mode. Now, Alphanimon is a very useful monster for purple and yellow. Probably one of my favorites when it comes to just yellow decks, because it's a security +1 on her Digivolution. If you're using a purple card that's in her material, you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So you have another, like I said, you have more removal, if anything, that is offered even through the effects of your Digimon. Next up is the effect. Her other effect, when she's on her deletion, you can play one purple or yellow Digimon as level 4 or lower from your trash without paying the memory, so you can stack. So basically, you can just refresh your field, which does not take too long when it comes to Alphanimon, because this deck has a lot of abilities that work once they're on play. So stuff like the Gatomon, who I'll talk about in a minute. You have the Tsukaimon's ability that triggers when it's on play, and the Witchmon that also has an on-play ability. Then, speaking of the Gatomon, let's talk about her. Gatomon, yellow and purple. This Gatomon has, when on play, you can reveal the top cards of your deck, 3 of them, and you can add 1 purple and 1 yellow Digimon among them to your hand. Place the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck. This is something that you honestly want as soon as possible on the field, to help you flesh out your deck and get to a lot of your cards, especially a lot of your angels and archangels, because Gatomon's other ability is that when you digivolve into a Digimon that is Archangel or Fallen Angel while using this card as its trait, you can reduce the cost of that Digimon by 2, so you can get to Angemon a little faster, Lady Devimon faster. I want to say you can do that to Lucemon Fall Down mode. I mean, Chaos mode, but I think Lucemon is a 6. So maybe, I think he's Mega. I want to say he's Mega. Or he might be Ultimate. Like I said, I don't have Lusamon, so I can't really tell you offhand. But no, this is one that I go into for the Angelomon and the Lady Digimon, especially the Lady Digimon, for her ability that's similar to this effect. And in her trait ability is that you can DNA Digivolve at the end of the turn using the Digimon that she is part of his Digivolution line with the other cards on the field. So basically, this helps you get into Mastemon a lot faster. Alright, so it's 4 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. Alright, now we move on to the purple. We have the Junomon. So Junomon is here for recovery. Junomon can, on Digivolution, she can go and get any, she can trash the top 3 cards of your deck, get any Digimon that is in your trash and add it to your hand. So you have a good recycling mechanic through Junomon. And that's why I'm running 2 of the Junomon, because it's a lot of Megas and Ultimates in this deck. There's very few champions in most builds and very little rookies. So you're really working to try to mesh a lot of that in. Next up is the infamous Lady Digimon. This is the one from the structure deck as well. On Digivolution, you may trash 1 card from your hand to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck to add 1 purple and 1 yellow Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in its traits among them to your hand, and put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is basically to flesh out your deck to help you get to your Angels and your Archangels and your Fallen Angels a lot faster. The Lady Digimon ability, while she is uses Digivolution trait, is Retaliation. So no, she gets all yellow Digimon Retaliation, which is great because that means you can start swinging into things and getting rid of them once they get rid of you. Also, fun fact: the Junomon also has Retaliation. A lot of the newer purple cards, especially the ones from the structure deck, are starting to have the Retaliation setup so that you can clear out things that you don't want still on the board. I know a lot of things aren't affected by stuff at this point, but if you can clear out things before they clear you out, that is going to be a safe way to just continue on the game and at least bring some pressure to your opponent. Witchmon. On play, she can return any level 5 or lower purple Digimon from your trash to your hand, and then if she's in security, at the end of the security battle, you can play her without paying the memory cost. So a swift way to recover as well indefinite from the structure deck. In the combo, we have the Eyesmon and we have the Eyesmon Scatter Mode. So this is something that I wanted to try out, and luckily enough, I did get the chance to do it. So the Eyesmon Scatter Mode says on deletion, it can draw 3 cards and then discard 2 from your hand. The Eyesmon itself is when it is trashed by your card effects. If an Eyesmon Scatter Mode is in your trash, you can play this card from your trash without paying the memory cost. Then during your turn, it gains 2k DP for every Eyesmon Scatter Mode, which is since why running 3. I thought 4 was going to be way too cloggy. And it doesn't, and because of where this card stands on the list, there's only 1 copy of it. So you're basically just going to be drawing additional cards to discard additional cards. And if you're filling up the graveyard for effects like Witchmon and Junomon, Eyesmon isn't a great way to go. And Eyesmon is just such a budget setup for a deck like this. The only other cards left are the only other rookie in the deck, and that is Tsukaimon, who, when on play, you can reveal top 3 cards of your deck, and just like Lady Digimon, if it's an Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel, you can add 1 of them to your hand and then place Degress at the bottom of your deck. So it's another one of those searcher setup monsters, also coming from the search deck. Now, if you want to add some more rookies to it, sadly enough, yellow does not have too many options for rookies. There is a Tailmon, but unfortunately the Tailmon is not Tailmon, the Salamon. But that Salamon is yellow, and I'll talk about that a little more when we get to Salamon. But for the purple Digimon, Electmon, Gizamon, and Psychmon are some good options because these are all turn-off cards while they're on the board. The Psychmon says that neither player can reduce the cost of cards that they play. The Gezamon has the ability that your opponent cannot gain memory unless it's through the effects of a tamer. And then the Electmon on deletion can delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. Now, there is a Digimon that you can combine these with, and that is the, what is it? The Xiaomon that's also out. The Xiaomon, you need at least 10 cards in your trash to give its Digivolution trait of retaliation, which is not bad. It can be a little situational, but if for a deck like this that likes to mill cards and send a lot of things to the trash, that Xiaomon can be an option if you can't get to your Demi Miramon, or you want to try something a little different besides the Demi Miramon. Just know that the cost for its ability is 10 or more, and it can be good if you're going to rush in with a lot of your smaller monsters, especially your rookies. Alright, the other two options are the Black Gatomon and the regular Black Gatomon, because this Gatomon is the dual color. This one here is the pure purple. So the pure purple says at the end of the security battle you can play without paying a memory cost, and then the dual color has rush when it is onto the field, so you can swing at your opponent for some chip damage. Alright, with that is the monsters. I mean, it's the Digimon for the purple section. Let's move on to the Digimon for yellow. So the 4 copies of the Angelomon, and this is simply just, you can use any Angelomon that messes around with security or decreasing DP on monsters in security. It's because the Magna Angemon, the Holy Angemon, is very expensive for the deck. I think it's like $30 for just one of them, and I ain't spending $30 on that. So I decided just to go for the 4 Angelomon, just to keep the setup for it very vague, very short. And it's just one of those, hey, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, let's look at some of the options. And it's still a viable option, but there's also a lot of other viable options if you're not, going to break the bank for it. Then, in conjunction with that, we move over to the Candlemon. So Candlemon in Salamon, because now we're going to talk about some of the other Rickies. Well, now we can talk onto the Rickies, because there are no yellow champions, and I mean, you can't count the Gatomon for being a yellow champion, even though she's dual colored. The Salamon is here to basically speed up the DNA Digivolution. The Candlemon has the ability that on play, that while it's on the field during your turn, as Digimon material, you can gain 1 memory when a purple Digimon is played, and since the majority of the deck is purple, you're going to gain a lot of those advantages from it. And the Angelomon, when she's on play, it's -2 security to one of your opponent's Digimon, and while she uses part of the Digivolution traits, any purple Digimon in play, you will gain security +1. So it's not the greatest of things when it comes to yellow, because there are a lot of optional things you can put in for yellow if you don't have access to the Magna Angemon, or just something that you want to just throw in to fill in some gaps. There's a Gatomon that is a blocker, but you need purple on the field for her to be the blocker. Which, like I said, it's not too hard considering where purple stands. There's also the option of, there's another Salamon that does some stuff as well when she's on the field. So that helps out with, the rookies and at least somewhat of champions for pure yellow, to be more consistent with the deck. And if you want to add some more of these rookies and stuff to it, then by all means. It's not too many yet, because I know the next set will have more yellow support for it. Alright, move on from yellow. And now we talk about our tamers. So the tamers of choice are basically anything with Kari in it. We have the dual tamer TK and Kari. We have the regular. We have the BT8 Kari, and then we have the BT2 Kari. So the BT2 Kari says that if your security is 3 or less, gain 1 memory. The BT8 Kari, set your memory to 3 if your memory at the start of your turn if your memory is 2 or less. And then the TK and Kari, if your security is less than your opponent's, you'll gain 2 memory. And then when your yellow Digimon attacks, you can suspend this tamer to have one of your opponent's Digimon lose -1 KDP. Although it's not much. Basically, these are here for the memory boost, which is deck thrives on memory, especially towards its late game. But it is nice to have a memory set up with the Kari. It's nice to have a memory set up with the other Kari. In the dual tamer is also just as useful, especially when when you're hitting up to 5, and especially because this deck does not play a lot of security control. From what it has access to, this is something that I can opt into. You can swap this Kari for the yellow one. I mean, for the purple one. I know there's a purple Kari. There's a Tachikawa Mimi that's also purple. If you want to play her in the deck as well. And I think there's also a Matt you can play in this dual setup as well. And then there's Mako. Mako, if I'm not mistaken, is coming out in the next main set. So I think that's BT10. And Mako works really well here because if you digivolve into a dual color of purple and yellow, then you can gain 1 memory. Alright, so moving the tamers out the way. And now we go on to basically the only other option cards. Because I'm not running a lot of option cards, actually. We have the purple memory boost. This is to help flesh out majority of the purple Digimon in the deck. And then on its delay, gain 2 memory. You have the Darkness Wave, which is just to help fill up the trash. And then you're able to retrieve a yellow or a purple Digimon from it and add it to your hand. So you have, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, you'll be able to return a yellow or purple Digimon from your trash to your waiting room. So you got a little bit of recovery with that. And if you're looking for some combinations with this, I definitely want to suggest trying the Jax Raid. If I remember where I put my Jax Raid. Not my Jax Raid, Night Raid, to pick up some Digimon as well, because the Night Raid can pick up any level 3 or lower Digimon and put that into play. Although the Digimon will not be able to use its on-play ability, the Jax Raid will at least get you something. And then you can play off of the Jax Raid with the Darkness Wave. That's actually something that was in the stretch deck itself. If you're not looking into trying to buy out the purple memory boost, the other options for some memory boost are the Glaive memory boost, the Mist memory boost. The Mist memory boost is that you'll trash the top 2 cards of your deck to draw 1 card, and then you put this into your into your battle area. Then you can send this off to gain 2 memory. The Glaive memory boost says you can return 1 purple Digimon from your trash to your hand. Then you can send this from the battle area to the trash to gain 2 memory. So you have some options there, especially because these have ways to fill and retrieve. You have a fill up the trash. You have retrieve from the trash, if you want to have those options in there. And then there's also this one, the Call from Darkness. You can delete 1 of your Digimon and then return it to 2 purple Digimon from... two purple Digimon from your trash to add them to your hand. So if you're trying to recover a lot of those things, you have the options with the Call of Darkness. And there are a lot of purple Digimon that have abilities once they start getting destroyed by card effects. So, in being trashed into the grave. Being sent to the trash. So these are just options for those in case you can't get to your purple memory boost. You have the Glaive and you have the Mist to help out with that. Alright, and then The other memory boost card is the only other yellow memory card that I can suggest, and that is Reinforced Memory Boost. Although it is at 1, I would have suggested yellow memory boost only if you have enough yellow Digimon in the main deck that you would want to flush out. Due to the fact the majority of this is purple, I am sticking with the purple memory boost, or giving the options for Glaive and for Mist memory boost outside of Reinforced. And then the other option cards, because purple yellow option cards do exist, we have the Hellflame Scythe, and we have the Chaos Degradation. So the Chaos Degradation, you can place one of your opponent's Digimon face down in the security, either on the top of the security or the bottom, and then you can force your opponent to trash the top card of their security. Basically, it's just a bit of removal to get rid of things that you don't want to deal with later. While also with the Hellflame Scythe, you can choose one of your opponent's Digimon to give it minus 6k DP, and then you can play one purple or one yellow Digimon with 6k DP or less from your trash without paying the memory. So you get a free summon, and you get a 6k DP slash to one of your opponent's Digimon. And it can either help you take out someone, or it can delete something that you want off of the field as soon as possible. And because of these cards being so good, of course, they have a high cost of attached to them. The Chaos Degrade has a second ability where you can place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at the top or the bottom of the owner's security stack, and it just goes in conjunction with its secondary ability. But this ability will only work once it's hit from the security. So, with that said, that is pretty much it for my deck. So hopefully you guys enjoy the setup for for the options and stuff that are here for purple and yellow. If you're gonna be waiting for, of course, let's say Omegamon. If you're gonna be waiting for Ordinamon and adding Ordinamon to the deck, then by all means do. Hopefully there are some better options coming soon, in case you don't get access to, like I said, the Lucimon and the Holy Angelmon, which I know Reguelmon is going to be in the set too. So that's going to be a nice addition as well. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys have any more suggestions for yellow and purple cards that you would suggest to others who are picking up Mastemon and picking up Mastemon's deck, and especially budget options due to the high amount of cards at the current moment. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps out tremendously. You can also hit up the social media links in the description box below to interact with me on social media and stuff like that. And of course, hit up the Twitch page at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe, where you guys can see me live and play some video games. So with that said, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. HPJ signing out. Take care.